Hello and welcome. Today I will be doing another Mbed tutorial, or C++ tutorial for Mbed, and today we're going to be outputting to the serial port. So as usual, you want to go into your compiler, and if you've watched the previous video you know how to set all of this up. I'm just going to use this example code again, and we can rename it. I can rename it YouTube code example. So if we now click onto this, we can go onto the main.cpp file, and for the most part, so you want to use an example just because you already have like Mbed included, and then, well, in terms of in your program, in your file. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to get rid of the button. And to know which board I'm using, you can watch the previous video, or I'll leave a link in the description, but it really doesn't matter what board you use. But if you don't know how to select a board, watch the previous video. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this interrupt, and we can leave that as 0. Let's see. I don't want to be flashing the LEDs for a minute. So let's just have everything set to 0. Today we'll be writing to the serial port, remember? So I like to look like this. Let's get rid of that. So if I compile this now, just quickly, the compilation was successful. Now I'm going to load this onto my device quickly. And there you go, all the LEDs have stopped flashing now. I think this one's just permanently on this device. Right, so now we can get started. So we want to write to the serial port. So the first thing you need is a terminal. Now, I mean, some people use PuTTY. I like RealTerm. It's quite nice for interaction. And to download that, I'll leave a link in the description, but literally come to this website here on SwordForge and then click download, and then you can set it up properly. So yeah, RealTerm is really good, and I'll show you a bit more about it in a second. So I guess we can get started now. So the first thing you want to do is kind of make a serial object. So like this, we can call it whatever we want. We can call it serial, I don't think that's taken. And then USB TX, comma USB RX, like so. Remember, this is C++, so always finish with a semicolon. Then, so you can set the baud rate, which I'll do in a second, but just to show you that it does it automatically, we won't for a minute. Automatically, baud rate is set to 9600. So something we might want to do is, we don't care about this. I'm just going to start a while loop somewhere along here, and in the while loop we just want it to be whilst true. Some people prefer writing while 1. It doesn't really matter. Same thing. Then inside this while loop, we want just to be able to print. So we can do serial.printf. Again, we don't have to do this. We could just do printf usually, and it will automatically try and connect to the serial port. I'll show you how to do that as well. So, I mean, people always write hello world. I can type, and I like to keep a return character and a new line character and a return new line character. Remember, semicolon goes at the end, and we want a delay. Is it delay? I don't remember. I think it's wait actually for Mbed, and we want to say wait 1 second between each iteration. Yeah, I think, yeah, so if we click on wait, you can see wait is a float in seconds. So we should probably make that as a float, but it doesn't matter. You can have milliseconds, which is wait ms, and then wait ms, and wait us, which is microseconds. But we'll leave it as seconds, and it's a float. So now this should all just print to the serial port. So let's compile this. And we haven't defined a baud rate, you'll notice. So I'm firstly going to open the serial port. And you need to check what port your device is on. I assume mine's here. But you can do that by go into your control panel, go to your hardware and sound, devices and printers. No, you don't want to go there, you want to go device manager, and then you want to check for your ports. So you can see our USB serial device is using comms port 7, like so. So we'll close that down now. So this is in fact what we want, so change that. We haven't clicked, so that's now on that port. We want a different baud rate though. We want 9600, so let's change. Nothing's on there yet. Let's put this onto our board. You can see it's programming. So now if we go to our real term, and there you go, it's printing hello world now, exactly as we've written it, and every second we get a new message. So we didn't have to say that the baud rate was 9600, and it just did that automatically. So we can just leave that open for a second. If we wanted to though, we could come into our main code and we could say serial dot baud, I believe, and state the exact baud rate. Well, since we know it's on 9600 anyway, what we'll do is we'll select a different baud rate. For example, let's do, I mean, it doesn't matter, if we do 4800, notice we get gibberish there. But now if we change this to 4800, recompile this, and go back, drop the file onto the board. Now again we're getting the correct data, 4800 baud rate. So that's how you set the baud rate. Alternatively, again, this is the correct way of doing it. You can be late if you don't really care about the baud rate. You can get rid of all of this, I believe. It's probably not good practice. Just like that, and then hit compile. Now we're just simply using printf. Again, we should. I'm gonna clear this because we're gonna get rubbish. Let's go to 9600, which is what I said. Change, clear. And again, without setting anything, it just defaults to the baud rate 9600 and automatically communicates with your device, the serial port. So that's how you output to the serial port. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to get input from the serial port. And then, yeah. So thank you for watching. Hopefully that was useful. Goodbye.